Okay, we'll just start at the top and work our way down, okay? So we guessed there was going to be a... is this a good view? Yeah, this is fine. We guessed there was going to be, you know, obviously it's going to be the, or very likely to be the pre-evolutions of the EXs we've already seen. So of course here we have the first one for Beedrill EX, which is Weedle. 50 HP grass, 1 grass energy. Put 1 random Weedle from your deck onto your bench. Personally, I'm not overly excited for this. I don't really like these types of cards. The artwork's nice, but I think like damage Weedle. I normally prefer damage because this has an issue of, well, although this draws a card from your deck, which is decent, what if you've already got 2 Weedles? Would you rather deal damage and set up the sort of push for that? Probably. So this, you know, sure, it is what it is. Kakuna, 80 energy, 80 health, 1 energy, string shot, deal 20, flip a coin if heads your opponent active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Kakuna's pretty good, guys. You guys know I like paralyze. This Kakuna could actually be a big deal. Like, that is actually good. Honestly. Something, you know, I've wanted and keep talking about, obviously, is I wanted the evolutions, or the pre-evs of the final evolution, the stage 2. I wanted stage 1 and basic to be better and have higher impact. And this Kakuna has a high impact, I'll tell you that. I'll play this card, obviously if I play Beedrill. But this, it feels like the best Kakuna, so that's positive. And of course, we have Beedrill EX. I'm probably going to do I might do a long shot EX rank video, but we might save that till day 1. Obviously, Beedrill EX, a lot of HP, a cheap attack, and also like reasonable damage, especially compared with the cost, and discard a random energy for your opponent's active Pokemon. This is pretty solid. The way this is balanced is that this would be insane, obviously, if it was stage 1. Most stage 2s would be good if they were stage 1, of course. But you need to get there. Like, if you curve this, you're probably winning games, right? If you can just active curve it. But because it's likely that you can't, it's still not bad, though, because remember, any grass Pokemon, we have Erica in there, as well as additional heals. You can put Cape on this, Rocky Helmet, you know. It's a lot of health combined with good damage and a discard effect, which can be quite strong in this meta, or at least in the current meta we've been in. So yeah, I actually think that at worst, this is going to be playable. And by playable, I mean, I should probably explain, right? For me, if it's playable, and when I say playable, I mean you can win plenty of games with this. Is it going to be, like, statistically the best card in the game? No, probably not. However, it feels like it could be good enough. I've played decks with, like, regular Beedrill before, and it felt okay with the high damage output, and also cheap energy. And this is that just on steroids, right? Also, remember, it's a 1-cost retreat. Now, I know that, you know, oh, who cares about retreat? Cyrus. Sure, but sometimes you still want to retreat, right? They can't Cyrus every single Pokemon. And also, it's retreat in a grass deck, which, of course, has Erica. Maybe you're running Shaman in there as well. Maybe you go the classic Beedrill EX Butterfree. So we'll see. But this is nice. I quite like this. Next up, we did see this Pinsir. Sure, too heavy on the energy. We did see Sprigatito, so we'll go over it, of course. But again, 60 HP, 1 energy. Put a random grass Pokemon from your deck into your hand. This is pretty good. This is one of the few times I like non-damaging abilities on basics. Is when it does something really like this, right? Where it's drawing you a card, and it can quite likely draw you its evolution. Right, in one form, whether it's 2 or 1, right? So, not bad at all. Decent HP, 1 retreat cost, 1 energy, like, draw a card. It's pretty good, honestly. It's pretty good. Next up, we have the evolution. Now, this is where I get sad, honestly. Florigato. It's fine. It's just boring. I really wish they'd start stepping away from this of, oh, stage ones, they're just boring and bad, right? I really wish they just could have done something, like anything, to make these more interesting, because this is pretty much a card you never actually want to see in the active spot, right? It's just like Charmeleon, just like Wartortle, just like almost all the others, where it's just a stepping stone to get to stage 2, and it's a shame. It really is. They could have given it just anything. Give it less HP or something, or less attack, and then give it just something. Disappointing, but guess what? You're going to play it if you play Meowscarada, right? And this is Meowscarada, 140 HP, non-EX. 2 energy attack, so cheap again. Fighting Claws, 60 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 70 more. So it's a 2 energy, 130. Alrighty then. Not bad. And I think what's important here is you could look at decks like, I mean, I am just making stuff up, but like Meowscarada, Carnivine, Arceus could be pretty dangerous, right? Tauros doesn't see play, and it's a basic. Sure. But also, I think things change a lot because of red. Yeah, and 2 energy to 3 is huge. Like, the difference between a 2-cost attack and a 3-cost attack is massive. It's really massive. 130 plus red. Yeah, we'll talk about red throughout this review, obviously. But yes, I think there's also an element to remember that these cards existing, this card, red, are going to make people think twice about just running full EX decks, because if you run into someone running like any EX hate, you will, a decent chance you'll get rolled over. So cool, you know, it's a cool payoff, it's a cool card. I just wish that the pre-ev wasn't rubbish. I get why, because this is strong, but yeah, I don't know. Next up, and I've just glanced at Charmeleon and I'm going to be annoyed again. Okay. So we have Charmander. Probably, well, yeah, just better than the current Charmander, right? This only deals 20, but you don't have to discard an energy. So, sure. This is probably going to be the go-to Charmander, I imagine. Charmeleon, boring. It's just the same as Florigato. It's exactly the same, except for more retreat, right? So that's a shame. But yeah. I just... and it's a 2 energy attack. At least make it 1 energy, I think. I'd like to see it be at least 1 energy. I don't know. Weird choice. Bit disappointing. And of course we have this Charizard. I feel like one of the few people in the world that likes this Charizard. I will say, I like it less now. I'm still gonna try it, obviously, but the Charmander and Charmeleon being just, well, mainly the Charmeleon being clunky is just meh. Right? Like, Charmeleon's still gonna suck to play, because my whole idea was you play other Pokemon up front, do stuff all game. When you get to Charizard on the back, you attach 1 energy when you put him in, then Stoke, bang. You're ready to go for Steam Artillery next turn. However, with Charmeleon then again becomes a pointless tool that just has to exist because that's how evolutions work. Where like you put 1 energy on a Charmander, which could still just stoke later on, but then you put 2 energy on the Charmeleon to deal 40. Then you evolve only needed the 1 energy, and it opens up your energy on the last turn. But then does that energy matter? Whereas if the Charmeleon had a 1 energy attack, you could do it on the you could at least still have more energy free, because it's less about the cost. It's less about the cost of the attack and more about what are you doing with your energy. So you have to put like an extra energy on Charmeleon that you actually don't really need on Charizard, right? And you might end up skipping a lot of the time. It's just disappointing that Charmeleon doesn't like progress the Charizard that well. So it's a shame. I'm still going to play Charizard. I'm still going to give it a whirl. Next up we have a cheap Magma. 70 HP, 1 energy flare, deal 20. Okay, I think all the other Magmas don't... the only Magma with an attack this cheap is only Ramp, right? And then we have a new Magmortar. 120 HP, Smoke Bomb. 70. During your opponent's next turn, if any Pokemon tries to use an attack, your opponent flips a coin. If Tails... Yeah, so it's the Weezing's attack as well, right? It's okay. And again, I think this would be decent, but I think the 3 energy is just a lot. Because again, how do you get from this, from like this to this? Right? I think this would have been better. Give it 110 health, 60 damage, 2 energy. Maybe even 50 damage for 2 energy. Because it's just, when are you putting this extra? That's the problem. You're putting 2 fire on Charizard anyway, but that's irrelevant, right? Because you would put an energy, the last energy you need, the second energy that you'd put on Charizard is what you would put on when you attack with it, right? That might necessarily not have to be the case, and you might have more energy free earlier if you didn't need to put it on the Charmeleon, right? You run with the old Magma? You can run it with the old Magma, but that's like... If you go first, you're just absolutely screwed, right? If you go first, you play it, they attach energy, then on your second turn, you attach energy and ramp, and then on your third turn, it can deal 70, right? It's a bit scary. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. And now we have a Paldean Tauros. The artwork's cool. 110 HP, 3 energy, 2 colorless though. Blaze Tackle, 80. This Pokemon also does 10 to itself. It's just the same old, isn't it? Where are you getting the energy from? Right? I think that's my question. I like the card. It's just... Where's the energy coming from? Unless there's a card that's going to tell us later on, maybe. But I just don't know where you get... Like, look at this and then look at Heatran. Isn't Heatran just 50 times better? Now, I get there are differences. And maybe this is the thing. Heatran needs 2 fire energy. And Tauros only needs 1 fire energy. Now, obviously, it's 3 total. But, you know, maybe there's a world you play some kind of ramp and, like, fire. For example, you could play Giratina EX, right? And then go energy on Tauros, Giratina, and then use Dawn to put the energy on this and then do that. But, you know what I mean? Like, It's something, and I know why cards like this exist, but I just don't think this becomes playable unless I'm missing something. I don't even think fire needs ramp. I think fire should pull from the discard. That's what I think. I think that should be a fire theme. I think it should pull from discard. So you can't just keep ramping up. But if you say play a Ninetales, juice it, it attacks, and it gets knocked out, you're going to have the 2 energy in the discard. And then you could pull it onto this Tauros, for example, or something like that. Because Fire just feels very slow outside of Moltres. And Moltres is so, like, one-dimensional. It's like, it's weird. Moltres is like the best bad Pokemon, right? Oh, and that's seemingly all of Fire. Did Fire get pooped on again? Kind of, right? Okay. Tentacool, 70 HP, 10 damage, so a tanky Tentacool here. Sure, nothing much to talk about, but you know, if you need that health, if Electric's popular, maybe that's good. And then Tentacruel. Oh, hey, I'm a fan of these cards. Oh, I like this a lot. Wow, a one retreat Tentacruel. Yeah, I'm a fan of this stat line. So yeah, sign me up. I like this a lot. Tanky Pokemon. It's Clefairy, right? That I've been playing recently. Tanky Pokemon evolution, but only a 1 energy investment. Which is nice, because if you've got other stuff, as water often has, then you want to spend energy elsewhere to start juicing your other stuff. So I like this. This is a nice option. Yeah, this is a nice option. I'm a fan of Pokemon like... I mean, I like Tentacruel anyway, but you guys know I'm generally a fan of something like this. This feels pretty good. Okay. Beedrill. Oh, the same stat lines as Tentacool. That's funny. Okay, what does float do? 90 HP. This attack does 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon? That's not bad again. Yeah, it's effectively Water Zeb Striker, right? I mean, I think that's good, right? Now, whether it becomes... And here's something as well, right? Whether it becomes meta or not is kind of irrelevant, because we don't know what the meta will actually look like. But just as a card for water, having a 1 energy 30 damage wherever you want, because it can hit active as well, is kind of nice. Yeah, not bad actually. Not bad at all. And then now we of course have Wiglet. I think this looks alright, honestly. 60 HP, obviously you're only going to play it with the EX, but 60 HP, one of your opponent's Pokemon chose at random, deal 30 to it. So it's kind of like a Zeb Striker. And then we have, obviously, we've seen these before, but then Wugtrio. Obviously there's like the gap, right? For Wugtrio, because it's 1 energy to 3. I can see this doing the old Manaphy Dawn play, which I do in a lot of water decks, where you Manaphy 2 Pokemon in the back, then you can retreat, evolve Dawn, and then suddenly Wugtrio goes on your second turn. And finally we have, well not finally, but we get to see Dondozo. 120 HP, 4 energy Ocean Cyclone. This attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Bear in mind, it can retreat for free with Tatsugiri, right? This isn't bad, honestly. This isn't that bad, even as a tank. Like, you can use this as a tank and play with the free retreat, right? Or, bear in mind, it's not that far away from an Articuno, right? Like, it really just isn't that far away. And in a world where EX Pokemon are probably going to get hunted, it's not so bad. I think it's reasonably solid. Budget Articuno. I mean, yeah, it's worth only 1 point, not 2. There are no cards. You know, red. What else? What was it? Red. Meowscarada. Sudowoodo. Articuno starts attacking with 2 energy. It's miles ahead. Yeah, of course. But that's like saying, you know, yeah, of course an EX is going to be stronger than a non-EX in general, but there are downsides to playing EX Pokemon that normal non-EX Pokemon do not have, right? Which is, you know, what you've got to think about. Like, you can't just say, oh, well, this is bad because there's a Pokemon with a better attack. It's like, well, Charizard one-shots everything, right? So all Pokemon are worse than Charizard EX, I guess. But yeah, considering there's multiple cards this set that have been printed to purposely beat up on EX Pokemon, I think now more than ever it's important to look at the non-EX Pokemon because you know, we might have to. And then, of course, we have Tatsugiri, the 70 HP, 1 energy rain splash. Your active Dondozo has no retreat cost, so it gets to retreat for free. The thing about this is, for a what would you call it, like tech card, it's got fine stats, right? I'm not saying it's good, but you look at like Sky Shaman or even regular Shaman, they're support cards, but their stats are really bad. Whereas 70 HP, and then 1 energy rain splash to 1 energy deal 20, like, it's not so bad. Worried about this getting sniped? I don't think you put this on the board until you want to retreat Dondozo, right? I just don't think you retreat, if you can help it, right, obviously. But I think this is a play on the board, then retreat scenario. But yeah, it's okay. Am I saying Dondozo is going to be the best Pokemon in the world? Probably not. But I don't think it's bad. Next up, we move on to Electric. We have Pika, we've seen this. Again, we'll check out the other Electric cards. We do have Pachirisu, which can ramp. Do I think this Pika is going to be good? 150 is a lot, guys. Does this ever just work as a finisher? Is this ever like a one-off finisher? I don't know, because sometimes you have to start it. I think that's the problem. And it's still got like the measly 120 health. Worse Raichu. Well, I don't think it's worse Raichu, right? Not strictly, because you have to run a Pikachu and a Raichu. Right? I think this will definitely depend on... I think it could definitely depend on what the meta is, like what health totals are at in the meta. Because just 150 in someone with a basic isn't bad. Obviously, there are cards like Magneton, Pachirisu that can help ramp. There's Dawn as well, obviously, for shimmy and energy across. So this isn't a nothing Pokemon. But I think it will heavily depend on what the meta looks like. If 150 is a relevant number, how much EX hate there is, because sometimes you do have to start this Pika, so it might have to take kind of like 1 hit before it happens. So I don't think this is bad though. Next up, Raven favorite, Voltorb Electrode. 78. Oh, so we're going for a lot of high HP, low attack Pokemon. They all seem to have the same stats, okay. And the Electrode is 90 HP. 2 lightning, tumbling attack, 50 plus. Flip a coin if Ed's attack does 30 more. I feel like the other Electrode's just better. I prefer the 1 energy deal 50. I'd rather have a flat 70. Oh, sure. I'd rather have a flat 50 for 1 less energy, personally. I'd rather have the second electrode. Yeah, or it's 2 energy for 70 guaranteed, yeah. Although, again, it might depend on, do you need exactly like 80 to 100 damage, right? For red or something. Like again, this is sort of a breakpoint Pokemon, right? And doesn't it have more health? Isn't the other Electrodes 80? Right? So it does have more health as well. Like, it does have more health because that, again, is relevant. This, I like. Pachirisu, I think this is just good, right? 70 HP, 1 energy, deal 10, but take a lightning energy. Basically, ramp a lightning energy to a Pokemon on the bench. Electric Pokemon on the bench, of course. I like this, honestly. I think this is probably just good. And I think Electric needed some help. I think Electric needs a tanky Pokemon, honestly, because there's a huge difference of how strong fighting's been lately, and because of that, how wrecked Electric gets. For 0 damage, you're vulnerable to helmet. Sure, but then also on the other hand, this absolutely rocks any water deck, any flying / a bird deck, as in any of the legendaries, for example. And sometimes the 10 damage is important, right? For like Cyrus, for example, too. So there are pros and cons to damage and not, but I will say there's been a lot of times where I kind of wanted my Manaphy to do something. So yeah, Pachirisu I can see being a highlight of this set if Electric can survive. Oh, and here we go. Pawmi. Okay. 60 health. Punch. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I've just pressed the wrong bloody button. So this evolves into Pawmo. Again, boring, but fine. At least it's again, reasonable health, right? 90's okay. Is it gonna survive stuff? We'll find out, but 90's like not terrible. And then for the payoff, stage 2 Pawmo, 140 health. So for an electric Pokemon, fairly tanky, honestly. Electric Punch, 2 energy, 70. I quite like that. In terms of, you guys know me, I like cheap attacks. And then counter attack. If this Pokemon's in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 20 damage to the attacking Pokemon. And 0 retreat cost as well. Not bad. I don't know if I'm on full cope, but not bad at all. Decent health, only 2 energy, so you can beef up other stuff, right? It's going to deal, let's say, 90 minimum. Not bad, I'd say. Yeah, 0 retreat is kind of interesting as well. Yeah, not bad at all, actually. Stage 2, though. Look, you do realize some of the best decks in the game have ran stage 2s, right? Let's just get this out of the way now. We are all aware that some of the best decks in the game are stage 2 decks, correct? We're all good for that? Yeah? Yeah? Agreed? Yep. Okay, good. But yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Recently? Nah, most run basic EX. Okay, so Mewtwo didn't run stage 2. All the Greninja decks. All the Magnezone decks. Gallade. One of the best decks the game's ever seen. Currently, Rampardos. Currently. Yeah, Gallade, Rampardos. Those are two stage 2 decks that are like top of the game right now. Yeah, Magnezone. People are still running Greninja. Like, how many do we need for this to be an accepted thing? Yeah, I don't... We need to get over this. Oh, it's stage 2, so it's bad. Like, it's... Stage 2s are fine, okay? Like, we've got a lot of good stage 2s. It's okay. The website's called Pokemon-zone.com. Okay. So, let's move on. That's I think Electric, it's okay. The Pikachu, I actually think Electric did all right here. Pika could be decent or very good. I love Pachirisu, and I think Pawmi's all right. The Electrode, Voltorb, not really a big deal, although the artwork, as ever. I don't know why, I don't know if you guys agree, Voltorb and Electrode somehow can get, like, the best artwork, and it's just 2 balls. Yet somehow, the artists give them so much expression. It's just the choice of the big eyes on Voltorb and the eyebrows on Electrode. Anyway, let's move on. Ooh, Abra. A damage Abra. Okay. Now, this is where things get interesting, because... there's going to be something to think about here, where... if fighting continues to be good, then you would want Psychic to an extent, or Grass, depending on where fighting goes, to counter it. Now, the problem with Psychic is it's weak to Dark, and Dark is also very good, at least recently. So we'll see what this is like. Abra, 60, it's like the base stat line, right? 60 deal 20 for 1. Kadabra, oh, mamma mia. Guys, thank God. This is big. Kadabra that can attack on curve. That's actually a big deal, because Kadabra sucked. It was honestly one of the worst Pokemon to play in the game, because you almost never reasonably could have, should have attacked with it, unless you're in a nightmare scenario. And this is such a big deal. This is such a big deal. Yeah, this is honestly very relevant, because now we've not even seen the Alakazam, but even the Alakazam we already have, this is so much better, right? It's so much better. I wish I had a stronger 2-energy attack. Yeah, the problem is then that would be broken, right? I think if you're going to give it an on-curve attack, it needs to be a bit of a tickle. But I still think the fact you can attack is huge. Honestly, this is a big deal. And then next up, of course, Alakazam. Wow, it's only 2 energy. 130 health, Psychic Suppression, 80 damage. This attack also does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench. They need to calm down. Oh, sorry guys, stage 2. Never mind, skip. Yeah, never mind, it's stage 2. Doesn't matter. Yeah, damn. Good health, cheap attack, decent damage, and potentially 20 AoE bench, and retreats for 1. Yeah, I mean, we might be Kazamid soon. Yeah, okay, sign me up. Alakazam is currently MVP of the set, I think. This is kind of nice. You know what the cool thing about this? Oh, well, I wonder if there's a world where you run 1 and 1. I wonder if you ever run 1 and 1. Like this and the old one. Interesting. Okay, next up. Mr. Mime. 90 HP basic, of course. Juggling. Flip 4 coins. This attack does 20 damage for each heads. Just a bit rubbish, isn't it? It just doesn't seem that good. Although saying that, if you go first and have Giratina on the bench, ramp Giratina, and then turn 2 Energy Dawn, juggle. I see the lines. I see the lines. Okay, not overly impressed. Whoa, another Drifloon. Ram, deal 20, 60, the norm. I feel like this is like an it's interesting. It's interesting. It's a decent stat line. It has what, 10 less health than Clefable. It has the 0 retreat, which is good. But the problem with this is it's weak to dark. And one of the reasons I really like Clefable is it's not weak to dark, right? So you can play it and not have that weakness. Because we're assuming, I'm just sort of working on current type popularity and how strong it is, obviously before the expansion. But this doesn't seem bad, right? Like, that's what I will say. I don't know where this will fit, because again, Psychic Pokemon, weakness to dark, that are supposed to be like extra Pokemon. I don't know how good they are, but there's also an element like it's a good fill card, right? Because it's such cheap attack, and you retain the power. Because this could be good with Dawn, right? Because you can have this in the front. Let's just pretend, right? You start, get into Drifblim, have it in the front, Gust, whatever, deal some damage, and then retreat, bang, Dawn the energy that you've got on it. So maybe this Giratina is not so bad. What site is this? Pokemon Zone. It's got all the full arts as well, by the way, guys, if you want to check it out. Okay. Giratina EX, of course. We've talked about this. I think this is probably going to be, at worst, played. I can see this being... Is this for next month? This is for tomorrow. Maybe I'm too high on Giratina. Maybe I'm on cope. But for me, I think this is decent. Because what you've got to ask yourself... Right. What you've got to ask yourself is, in certain decks, maybe like this, where you can hit for 130, right? Do you care that much about dealing 20 damage or 30 damage early on? Maybe you do, but I think a chunk of the time you can set it up that you don't care. Which means you could just keep ramping with broke space, right? So if you don't care about dealing 10, 20, 30 damage, then it's not that bad, right? Why would I play this? Giratina, if Staraptor does the same thing in less turns thanks to Barry and it's not an EX. Well, because that's also, you have to run 6 cards instead of 2, right? Like, this is a basic. You have to get to Staraptor and have Barry. So that's why you would run this instead. Not instead, but this is why it's different, right? Yeah, and this is arguably, well, it's not arguably, this is ramp, and you can Dawn the energy for some, there'll be some interesting, like, turn 3 plays with this. But yeah, I actually think this is better than a lot of people. I think people think, there's a lot of thinking going on, that passing the turn, well, so not passing the turn, missing an attack is potentially a bigger deal than people think it is. Or it's not a bigger deal than people think it is. Or it's not as big a deal. Because think about this, right? Do you lose every game in which you get paralyzed once? Do you lose every game in which your opponent has a Drudagon up front so you don't want to attack into it? Do you lose every game where you have Summit in the active and energy you're something in the backline instead? Right? No. Which, and also bear in mind, a lot of those outcomes you don't have a choice over. This, if it's not good for you, you can choose to not press the ability, right? Like, you don't have to press it, or you can press it, right? So I think this is better than people think. People are too caught up on this, you don't get to attack. I think my fear and what upsets me about this card is it probably means we're going to see more Drudagon. I mean, it's good if you have like Drud in the active, but it doesn't have to just be Drudagon. If you have anything in the active, it's fine, right? Like I said, surely you've all played games where you have something in the active, but you need to put energy on something in the back. So the active just takes a couple of hits while you energy up the back, right? Imagine if you could do that twice as fast. Right? Am I explaining this well enough? Right? Like, there's so many games where you're not ramping and giving energy to something in the active spot and dealing max damage every turn. That happens so often. And bear in mind, you are choosing when this ability happens. I think Giratina is going to be quite good. I think this is going to be quite good. I think this is going to be meta. However, there's the flip side of it where I talked about, well, Dark is already good. So, Sabrina into like, I don't know, are we going to get Arbok back? Next up, we have Gimmighoul. 60 HP, chest. Oh, what? Flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage. Oh, okay. So it's okay. Fine. And it's colorless. Okay. And then where's Gold? Oh. Is Gold Boy not psychic in this? Okay, fine. We'll get to that later then. Next up. Machoppington. 1 energy matchup. Low kick. Nice. Okay. Gives you some options. Machoke, 100 HP Pummel. Flip a coin if heads, his attack does 30 more damage. Hang on. What's the other Machoke? I just need to stare at it for a second. Oh my god, I can't even get... You guys can't see this. I'm just going... Oh, here we go. It's just... I think I'd rather play the other one. It's the same thing with the Electrode, right? I think it's the same thing with the Electrode, where I'd rather just have 50 instead of maybe 60. But it's still cool. Artwork's nice. And then Machamp. 150 HP, which is a lot. Power, and it's still 2? If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra fighting energy attached, this attack does 50 more. Wait, this is just better than the other normal Machamp, right? Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. It's one less energy. The other Machamp is 3 energy, deal 100. Oh. This is tricky because I think this is a really well designed card because fighting at the moment normally wants to be low energy attacks, right? Which this does. This has a low energy attack, but it's got the option of potentially hitting hard. And also bear in mind, Dawn exists, right? Like, Dawn exists. So if you have something earlier that's got energy on, and on turn, you know, your third turn of energy, you go the energy and then Dawn, and then this suddenly hits for 120. Not sure we don't have a ramp card for fighting type. You might not need ramp, that's what I'm saying. Is this the Onyx Dawn? I'm just saying in general, right? You can have energy attached to... Because what can happen in fighting sometimes is you have... Because everything's cheap attacks, you kind of throw an energy on everything. So I feel like it's reasonably likely you've got an energy on the backline. And then you can Dawn onto it. All I'm saying is I don't hate it. And I think it's a pretty well-designed card. Relatively cheap retreat cost as well. Low retreat for what it is. 2 energy 70. Fighting's in a good spot anyway. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. Yeah, obviously a bit of a tanky boy. Honestly, yeah, I like how flexible it is, honestly. I like how flexible it is. Okay, and then, ooh, Hitmonlee without Extendo Kick. This is just kick. I like the artwork. I'm already imagining Lucario, and then just these two Hitmonlees and 2 Hitmonchans. And then Hitmonchan. Magnum Punch, 3 energy, deal 90. 3 energy, deal 90. Probably doesn't make it, but it's a lot of damage on a basic. Right? Like, you could say this attack sucks, but on a basic Pokemon to just deal 90, like... Yeah, with Lucario 110, it's not so bad. It really isn't. Okay. Oh. And a rubbish Rio. Okay. I'm sorry I'm not going to spend more time, but I mean, it's just bad, right? So whatever. The problem with this is, sure, 2 into the new EX goes 2 into 3. But when you have to start this, you can't even punch anything. Right? So, like, it's just... Lucario EX. I've not seen all the trainers or anything like that yet. Maybe there's something, but this kind of has the same issue of, like... It's rough because I just think for an EX in this economy, or in the economy that's probably going to exist tomorrow, I'm worried this just doesn't achieve enough. That's my concern. I'm just worried it doesn't achieve enough. Hopefully I'm wrong. Lucario's cool. Oh, we have Flamigo. 80 HP, double kick. Flip 2 coins, attack does 50 for each heads. Not the worst, honestly. But yeah, not the best either. Okay. Fighting. Nothing mind-blowing in fighting, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay. That there's nothing mind-blowing in fighting. I think the Machamp's kind of cool. But outside of that... The Lee is promising. But this card already exists, right? The Hitmonlee. It's just... Unless you want to run 3 or 4 Hitmonchans, right? It's just Hitmonchan, isn't it? I mean, maybe you do want to run 3 or 4 of the original Hitmonchans, and then this Hitmonlee's good, but... Okay, next up, oof. A Raven favorite. Ekans. This one sucks, though, because it's 2 energies, so let's Moonwalk straight out of this. What's the Arbok, though? 110 health, Venomous Fang. 70 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Ugh. See, this is suffering from Dark being good, right? I think that's the issue. It suffers from Dark already being... Very similar to Fighting. Fighting is already very good. So unless the Pokemon are even more busted that we get from an expansion, they're never going to look as good. One thing I'll say, though, to bear in mind, yeah, all of these non-EX Pokemon, their value is a bit nebulous right now. Because we just don't really know the impact like Red is going to make. Or, you know, how many people playing Sudowoodo, Meowscarada, so on. That's the thing to think about. Because if Red, and it will be, is giga popular, all these non-EX are like buffed, right? Because they aren't taking 20 extra. And also they're basically deleting... They're putting 2 useless cards in your opponent's deck, potentially. So, it's just... Bear in mind that the meta could easily go in a direction where EXs are getting absolutely bodied. I imagine it's going to be circular, right? Everyone plays double red, EXs get worse, so people start playing more non-EX. Because people start playing more non-EX, people start cutting red. Because people start cutting red, EX gets better. People play EX, people put 2 reds in the deck. It's going to be circular, and that's why I think red's a pretty cool card, because it self-controls the meta to an extent. So I think that's positive. But just bear in mind that these non-EXs are better than they look in raw stats, because we're looking at it through a lens of red not bullying, and other cards not bullying the meta. Because bear in mind, just think, if more people had access to, like, Sudowoodo, right? Okay, so, oh, Paldean and Wooper. Oh my god, they did it. Guys, they did it. They gave the Wooper a poison. Oh my god. I cannot believe they did this. This is really big. If you've not seen the cards, I'll show you why in a second. But 50 HP, low HP, 1 dark attack, poison jab, deal 10 damage given poison, so effectively deal 20 damage. And maybe more after the fact. 1 retreat, yeah, sure. The reason this is a big deal is because this evolves into Paldean and Clodsire, which is 160 HP, 2 energy, so follows on directly from the Wooper. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 60 more. So it'll do 120. Which is a really big deal, guys. Like, that is gonna be painful. This alone could usher in the age of the berry. Because it's also just got tons of health, 160 HP, and even at worst, it's dealing 60. Obviously, the drawback is once it's in, it's... I mean, oh, wait, no, the drawback's not so bad. I was going to say once he's in, he's in. If you leaf this, you pay 1 energy, you still have 1 energy left over, which means the turn you bring it back in, you put 1 energy on it again, and it's good to go. Right? The retreat's not even that bad. The retreat's not even that bad. You need your Wooper to survive. That's probably the weak spot. Oh, I'm just on about on an on-curve scenario, right? So... this is very cheap. You know me, I like cheap attacks. I think Clodsire, I'm so surprised that, like, they gave the Wooper. I thought they were going to give something else poison. Interesting, okay. Next up, oh, Spiritomb. 80 HP, confused Ray. Flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon's confused, deal 20. Not the worst, tanky boy. Especially if you're trying to deal with fighting decks. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. And like I said, something important to remember is if Dark is good and you're playing it and you're scared of fighting, you want things that aren't weak to fighting to, like, tank by some time. Spiritomb can do that job. Okay. What else? Shroodle. 60 HP, deal 20. Okay, weak to fighting. Nice artwork, sure. Grafaiai. 90 HP, 2 energy bite. Oh, I see. Ability, poison coating. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Well, this is disgusting, isn't it? It's got an acceptable attack. a low retreat cost, decent HP, and you can try and spam poison. Because Hypno has 2 retreat cost, right? I would never play this over Wheezing. But this can do this off the bench. Right? And you can do it multiple times. You can flip the coin multiple times, yeah. Obviously, you can't have more than 1 poison on the Pokemon, but yeah. Yeah, of course, this is Clodsire support. This is nice. Yeah, this is nice. I'll try this combo and delete a deck against the first Arceus. Guys, I think... You guys might be like... Not real. You guys probably haven't played Poison much against Arceus, right? I did very well as when I've been playing Toxicroak, because it's only Arceus that's immune. The Dialgas aren't, the Shamans aren't, or whatever else they're running, right? Like, it's not that bad. And if you poison a Dialga and then clod it, it's getting smashed, right? And then you just need to just deal with 1 more Pokemon. It's not that bad. But yeah, I like this. This is pretty powerful. Oh, here we go. Next up, Tinkatink. 1 energy, 60 at the huge. We'll skip over this. Tinkatuff. 2 energy, 90 HP. Flip a coin if heads attack does 30 more. It can do 60. That's not bad. And then, of course, Tinkaton. This isn't bad. Yeah, this curved, which is what I wanted. I think as long as Tinkatuff did a 2 energy attack, and this attack's decent. Good health. This is a worse Torino. I don't know what Torino is, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is nice. Fire weakness might be good in this meta. Maybe, yeah. They didn't get much, did they? Yeah, I'm going to be playing this. I have faith in Tinkaton. Like, 160 is just going to be nutty. Okay. Varoom, 10 damage, 70, sure. Reveroom, 110 health, 3 energy, so that's a bit awkward. Flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn for an all damage. Oh. Hold on a minute, it's Dugtrio on steroids. Obviously costs way more though. Huh. Not the worst, guys. Worst Probopass. Yeah, I'm gonna start to just ignore people when they say this is a worse this or this is a worse that, because the comparisons are always just crazy. You know what the problem with this is? You can't see the outcome before you add a man. Right? Like, if you could know what you're gonna hit, it would be kind of nice. Okay. Oh, and here's Goldengo. Here we go. 120, it evolves obviously from the other guy. 3 energy, but 2 colorless. What is it? Flip a coin for each 2 energy attached to this oh. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. Oh god. People are gonna Dialga Goldengo, aren't they? It's a worse Celebi, yeah. People are gonna Dialga Goldengo for sure. And make it rain, yeah. It's not that bad, I'll be honest. When you frame it in the sort of Celebi sense, it's not that bad, is it? Because obviously it needs 3 energy to attack, not 2. So that is something. But also, this is never going to be stood holding the bag in the active, right? Because it's not it's not a basic. This is an evolution, stage 1. So there's ups and downs to that. But honestly, I've seen worse. I mean, it is pretty much so just a Dialga juicer, right? Dialga Goldengo. The problem with this is you Dialga buff this, and if your Dialga goes down, it's not like you're ever getting 2 of these, right? If the Dialga drops. So that's the problem. Oh my god, Rattata. Okay, why have they given us a new Rattata? Raticate. Well, hang on. It's a really weird mini set, this, isn't it? It's got 10 more HP, does 10 more damage, but uses a whole extra energy. Yeah, I played loads of this Raticate when the game first came out. Feels just like filler. I don't want to just auto, because everyone's like filler, 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 filler. Like people just jump to that, and I'm not gonna automatically just say filler, lol, and skip, because I feel like we've seen a lot of Pokemon this set at 90, and I just wonder why that's the case. Because if you think that like the devs are like, oh, we need some filler, let's just pick whatever. Yeah, whatever, just chuck it in, doesn't matter. Then, you know, that's probably being a bit harsh on the devs, I would say. It's just interesting what stat lines they pick. I do like Raticate, though. Jigglypuff with rollout, 1 energy, deal 20. Okay. Oh my god, the artwork. Wiggly. Gentle Slap. Once during your wait, this card's sick. Wait, is this card not awesome? It's 1 pack, yeah. Guys, I feel like Wigglytuff's insane. Why does it have a decent attack? Like, why does it... Like, I get this is good, right? Comforting Song, fine. Yeah, no worries. 100 HP, sure. Why does it... It just gets a good attack as well. This just confirms Raticate is Omega filler. Well, okay, let's just bear something in mind here, guys. Rarity is a factor. Wigglytuff is a 3 diamond card, right? So there is something to just bear in mind. Not everyone's going to get Wigglytuff instantly, right? But yeah, Wiggly's just kind of nice. I don't know what to say. I think this card's just good. Right? I think the card's just good. I'm shocked that it has just a good attack. That's what I'm kind of surprised by. It just has like, that's just a solid attack. And this obviously there's other Jigglypuffs, but like this Jigglypuff has an on-curve attack as well. Okay, Wiggly. I mean, you're up there as one of the best cards in the set so far. Oh, not Lickitung. Meanwhile, Lickitung, not good. Into Licky. Again, horrifying and still not good. Okay. Bidoof. 2 energy headbutt. I feel like the other Bidoof is probably just overall a bit better. Although I really like the artwork. I like the art style in this one. I like this one. I don't think it's very good, but I like it. We've seen this. Beedrill EX, 160 HP. Carefree Press. I'd rather play 2 Wigglytuff. Yeah, 4 energy. Good with the Alga. It's just not, though, right? You know what the problem is? Think about this. It is 1 less evolution, but Venusaur cannot keep up. Yeah, this is unfortunate because I just don't... Maybe I'm wrong, but how are you ever getting the energy on this? And if you're getting the energy on this, it's probably what, Dialga? And if that's the case, or Manaphy, and if that's the case, wouldn't you rather just put them on other Pokemon? Like, you could do it with Manaphy as well, but then it's still a lot. Like, look at this compared to Gyarados. Wouldn't you just play Gyarados? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what you play instead of. We have Baneri, 50 HP, 20 damage. Okay. Interlop, 1 energy, 30, 100 HP. Not the worst, not the best. Oh, Cyclizar. 80 HP, 1 energy, deal 20. During your next turn, this Pokemon's over acceleration does... Oh! Hey, this guy's not bad. It's not bad at all. No, this will cap at 40. It's like all the other, like, stacking attacks. Yeah, not bad at all, I would say. Yes, arguably is slower Farfetch'd, but also 20 HP is a big deal. Like, 20 HP extra is a big deal. And just like, yeah, not bad. Yeah. Yeah. Not bad at all. Thumbs up for Cyclizar. Oh, here we go. It's trainer time. We've talked about some of these because some of these got announced in the trailer, but I will just quickly go over them. Iono. It's probably got some small use cases. To sum up, maybe it's good in a fossil deck if you need to hit those fossils and you don't have them. Because generally in fossil decks, if you don't have the fossil, whatever else in your hand is normally not great anyway. So you can try and reroll your hand. Other than that, I just don't see it. People talk about, oh, you can re-roll a bad hand at the start. Well, maybe, but you're also using a card in your deck, one of your 20 slots, to have a card that only really maybe does something good if you're in a bad spot, right? So I just think that this isn't a big deal. The whole affecting your opponent's hand doesn't matter. Like, it's irrelevant to whether you play the card or not. Like, each player bit is kind of irrelevant. So yeah, unfortunately, I like Iono, but unfortunately, doesn't seem the best. Next up, oh, Pokemon Center Lady. We're going away from Nurse Joy. Supporter, heal 30 from one of your Pokemon, and it recovers from all special conditions. It's Cyrus and Poison. I think this card's decent, but I don't think it's like busted or anything. Does it heal the counter attack next turn condition? No, because that's not a special condition. I don't think. Special conditions are like battle, like poison, paralyze, burn. There are definitely decks I currently play Potion that I would replace with this card. The problem is, what you've got to bear in mind is, with all of this power of all the supporters, if your deck ends up being 8 Pokemon and 12, okay, let's say 10 supporters because of Pokeball, 10 supporters, you can only play 1 per turn. So, I don't know if this just gets rid of Potion. I don't think it necessarily does. Because you can only play 1 per turn. So if your deck becomes stacked for supporters, your game plans are going to be potentially very slow. That's something to bear in mind. So it's just something to look at. Because the supporters are always going to be like kind of stronger than items. But there's a reason for that, right? You can't play multiple in a turn. But this is still a good card. Red, of course, this is probably going to be one of like the cards of the meta of the game. Is that you get to deal 20 extra damage to an opponent's active EX, which is pretty strong. Already I'm thinking of Meowscarada with red, and then just like, I don't know, Leafy on EX. Red looks so cool. So I'll tell you a story. I was going to get a red cosplay, but the jackets cost a lot of money for what it is, and the hats are like impossible to get. So yeah, we're not getting a red cosplay anytime soon, guys. But yeah, this card, very good. Very, very, very good. And now I like Team Rocket, I'm not gonna lie. Team Rocket Grunt. Flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Yeah, kind of reverse Misty. This card could be very strong. Mainly because the difference between this and Misty. Misty does nothing half the time. This does nothing half the time, right? However, this doesn't affect like your own attacking game plan. It just potentially messes with your opponent's game plan. So if this whiffs, I would generally say it's less of a problem than if Misty whiffs. That's just at a glance. I also think this could be pretty good. You probably run this in any aggro deck, right? This might find a space in fighting. It might find a space in just anything that wants to go fast. Kukabo has Jesse James, yeah. It still does nothing in my book. I mean, you say that until they do it to you, and then you cry, right? I mean, this is also meta dependent. But like, even if we look at Giratina, look at just any of the big hitters, they generally want a good chunk of energy, right? This will work against Arceus. You could delay a Dialga attack with this, because Dialga has to equip an energy and pass. Then they equip an energy and attack. So against a Dialga, they equip an energy, then you grunt them, and if you win that 50-50, they're a whole other turn delayed, which is huge, right? I think this is more of a meta card. And I think as long as everyone's not just playing fighting or some like one energy meta, this card you're probably going to see a one of at least in people's decks. That's what I would go for. I think you're going to see this as a one of unless this feels like a problem. I think this card is terrible. 50% of the time, you delay your opponent's attacks. And you delete an energy. I probably wouldn't say it's terrible. I mean, 50% of the time, it does nothing, right? But there's a lot of things in this game that do nothing half the time. I think this is less egregious than Misty. 50% of the time, I delay an attack, assuming they use an energy maxed out attack. Which often they don't. I don't know what that means. Like, for example, like I said, against Dialga, you could stop them doing the Dialga attack. Right? If they have to start an Arceus, they're just never getting the energy in time if you hit once with this. Right? Like, energy control is the biggest thing in the game, in my opinion, anyway. I think defensive Sabrina delays more than this. Do you think so when, like, Leaf exists in those decks? Yeah, I think this is like a turn 2 to turn 3 play. Or, obviously, there's late game scenarios where you high roll, right? Like, if they bring out an Arceus attack, and then you grunt, and it deletes all the Arceus energy, or deletes 2 Arceus energy, there's that outcome as well, right? See your point, but half the time they don't have Leaf, and half the time this does nothing. Sure. But there's also an element of there might not be anything to Sabrina, right? And also they might have like a Shaman out, which isn't as big a deal. So they can just put the energy and go for the attack anyway. I don't know. I feel like Grunt's probably going to be a one-of in most decks unless the meta massively shifts to extremely one-attackers. Can't be that good because often you already got attacked. Right, but this can stop you being attacked again, right? That's what I'm saying. And any slower... Like, imagine this against Giratina, right? Giratina's in the active, it goes to ramp, and then you delete the energy at ramped. Yeah, I don't think this is as extreme as Misty, because this doesn't just straight up break the game, right? Like, you don't just insta-lose a lot of the time to this. Whereas, if Misty hits early on, you've lost, right? But yeah, still, it can still have a big impact. Oh, okay, and then we're on the full art. So that's the set. Okay, I'll do a quick overview of the set, and then we'll look at the full arts. So, highlights for me. I like Meowscarada. I like Tentacruel. Floatzel's not bad as well. I like Pawmi and Pachirisu. Pikachus are possible. Love Alakazam. And the Kadabra as well. Love Kadabra and Alakazam. And the Abra, to be fair. Driftblim's not bad. Giratina is not bad. So they're alright. Psychic got, I think, a decent buff this set. Fighting, meh. I do like the Machamp design, but meh. Dark did well. I think Grafaiai and Clodsire good. I think Spiritomb's not bad either, so I think Dark did pretty well. Tinkaton, I liked Tinkaton when we saw it just as a Tinkaton. I know you can't see it on screen, but yeah. But I think the fact that it has a on-curve like evolution is good, so I've got hopes for Tinkaton. The Wigglytuff is just maybe the best card in the set. I don't know. Wigglytuff seems like a highlight of the whole expansion, or at least one of them. Because it just seems so good. Supporters seem powerful. I think Iono's not going to be so great, but I think Joy, Pokemon Center Lady, Red, and Team Rocket Grunt are going to be impactful in the meta. So yeah, I think overall, I know people have talked about, oh, you know, the set's weak, all the Pokemon are weak, blah, 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 which is fine. I do think, oh, I like Kakuna as well. I do think that it's interesting that the usual, right, before people have even played with the cards, oh, they suck, right? They're going to be bad in the meta. I think that's a bit presumptuous and assuming that, like, all these people saying this are actually good at the game. But also, bear in mind, the impact that Red and other anti-EX Pokemon will have on the game will be big. I am 99% sure. And if EX Pokemon get pushed out to an extent, the game changes, right? The meta dramatically changes. So yeah, I think the set looks okay. What will, just as a final point, will make me laugh is so many people are like, the set's just, you know, the Pokemon aren't as powerful or aren't powerful enough or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Are probably a huge chunk of the same people that if all of these Pokemon were significantly stronger than what we currently have, they'd say, oh, power creep. Oh, they're making the game pay to win. Oh, power creep. But now the Pokemon seem fairly balanced and not overpowered at all. And then people are saying, oh, cards suck. It's hilarious to me. Bangers, thanks a lot for the raid. I appreciate it, mate. But yeah, I think overall the set's kind of interesting. There are definitely a few highlight cards in here. Let's, for now though, take a look at these full arts. So first off, Meowscarada. Kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of this Pokemon, unfortunately. But the artwork's cool. Buzz. Oh, nice. I like this style. I can't remember the name of the artist though. Shimmeris Yukichi. I like that style. I think they do one every set at least. Because the Rhyperior and the Diglets are like this, right? Tatsugiri, we've seen. Ooh. Oh, I like that one. I like this artwork. That's kind of nice. Goldengo, not my favorite Pokemon. I'll be honest, but you know, nice and bright artwork, sure. Oh my god. I actually like it because all I imagine is two of these on the bench, and all I imagine is it'll be a shame if that damage just got healed away, right? And it's just Wigglytuff looking at you. Oh, it's an awful shame if I could just heal all that damage back up. Oh my god. I actually kind of like it. I like it. Look at it. It's just looking at you, just a slight smirk, be like, hey, you having a good day? You having a good time? This might become my start screen. I'm not gonna lie. Haters will say it's AI. I think it looks nice. I like it. I'll just slowly do this. last scroll got me. Oh, like okay, that's my favorite so far. Okay, now we get the Beedrills. Okay, I mean, not my favorite style, these ones, but you know, okay, this one looks kind of cool actually. A peek, okay. Oh, that's kind of, he's kind of thick. Okay, all right, that's fine. Lucario in the stance, sure. Oh, the Clods. Oh, I like the Clodsire one. I quite like the colors on this one. I quite like the colors on this Clodsire. Oh, okay. The Tink's not bad as well. I mean, this is what I imagine the average Twitch viewer is like when watching my stream. Yeah, just like, just watching Raven stream again. See him playing some decks that I don't care about. I know, looks sick, like just full anime picture. I know, of course. Pokemon Center Lady. Is that really Pokemon Center Lady? It's just not the same, is it? Nice artwork, of course. I mean, Red, the Lord. The best trainer in the world. Did Joy get cancelled? I don't know! Suddenly it's just not Joy. It's crazy. But look at him. Giga Chad. We're not allowed Joy? I know, yeah. Just wait, we get like later on it's like some sort of police officer brutality card or something. Team Rocket grunts. Oh, that is cool. That might be the chase. That might be the chase. This and red. That's what I could have done. I probably could get hold of Team Rocket gear to wear. Oh, the rainbows. Holy macaroni. That is incredible. That's just incredible art. I mean, look, I can just do this for you. Look at that. Incredible. You know, you look at something like this and think, wow, I'm a talentless human being. Someone's made that. I couldn't even draw Pikachu in stick form. Me? Yeah, incredible. Incredible. Look at the boy. This looks like it's from oh, what's it? Is it Poker World? Is that what it's? What's it called? You know the show where it's like, yeah, it's like the thingy. Poker Earth. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, that looks great. Just having a good time. Just a chill guy. I can hear David Attenborough exactly. Fantastic. Got the two bros just on top, chilling. Fantastic. This is very Tinkaton, isn't it? Yeet! Just absolutely smash. Yeah, that's nice. It's just, for me, I either look at, like, ones like this that I'm like, oh, this looks just cool. Because I love Pokemon in the world art. That's what I quite like. But here, I'm just like, Oh, this is just like stylish, you know, and this is bright. You know, it's gonna. I've got that shock value. So yeah, that's nice. Okay, what's that? Oh yeah. Look at this guy. This guy would be me. Not even facing the right way for the photo. This would be me 100%. I'd be looking the wrong way. Yeah, this is Twitch chat. Yeah. This is Twitch chat, let's be honest. If we were in the olden times and Twitch was actually me sat on like a big rock telling stories, this is what you guys would look like, my viewers. Sat there like... Yeah, and then this would just be, I don't know, probably Ains or something, wouldn't it? Ooh, I bet people look... Not... Like, this looks cool. Maybe my issue is I just don't like Giratina as a Pokemon. But this is definitely one people are going to like, isn't it? Like, this is sick artwork. It's just, I'm not a huge fan of the Pokemon. Hang on then. Chris is spamming me with this. I like that. I like it. That is freaky. The Twitch. Yeah, okay, I'm a fan. I like that. That's cool. Oh, now we have... Oh, they've done shinies for all of them? Oh, so they have like full shiny lines. So we've got shiny Weedle. Shiny Kakuna. Also, have people started raging about this, about the additional rarities now? Have people started raging about it yet? Oh, the Charmander looks cool. Because you guys do know the issue with additional rarities, right? Just arguably less chance to get the other cards. Charmeleon's not bad. We've seen the Wiglet. Ooh, the Dondozo looks kind of nice. Do you guys like the shinies? Or do you guys like this sort of addition? Because I've never overly enjoyed shinies in Pokemon in general. You know, like, shinies don't really hold anything for me in Pokemon. There's the Beedrill. The Zard. The Wugtrio looks kind of cool. Why are some shinies just normal color? They're not. Right. What shinies are normal color here? Yeah, I've never been a fan of shinies in the video game either. They've never really held, and that's because I think like the core Pokemon designs are just so cool and look so good. I don't feel the need. Can you show Charizard? Yeah. And then, of course, we get to the card people have been spamming me about. I'm a bit annoyed. I'm going to be honest. I'm not as hype on this as everyone else. Now, don't get me wrong. Hey, Claudia, what's up? Don't get me wrong. Do I want this? Yes. Right? Will I use it if I get it? Yes. Would I rather have had like a full art version? Like a rainbow Pokeball version? Yes. That's my only... Like, I'm not big on this gold stuff. When's the expansion out? Tomorrow. Yeah. I think a full art Pokeball would have been way cooler. Personally. Now, don't get me wrong. This is nice. I will use it, and I do want to open it, obviously. It's cool, right? But I would have loved just a full art one. Only because I'm not personally a big fan of the gold background, that's all. Hope the server won't be super laggy. The server's only ever laggy for the first like 30 minutes or so. But yeah, don't get me wrong, this is good. This is good though, this is nice. And I believe... Wait, what? There is also... Do I have to go into promos? Is it somewhere in here? Yes. Shiny Mewtwo. Someone got any cold cards? Oh no. How is this Mewtwo obtainable? Well, it's a promo card, so either through like the subscription, I'm guessing, or through an event in game. But one thing that makes this look cool is the rainbow edging. And then we have Cyclizar. Sprigatito. Okay, that's a good Sprigatito. That is a good Sprigatito. And then we have a promo float. Oh wait, it's different. If your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 60 more? It's not bad. Obviously, it's a stage 1. It's like Bruxish, but it's 1 less energy, but you have to evolve. Is it just Bruxish? Well, no, because energy is different, right? Okay. I mean... That's pretty good, isn't it? That's a promo. That's pretty good. Having all the evolutions. Sign me up for that one. That is actually quite good. Okay. Ooh. Nice. This is the same Machamp, but still looks cool. Oh, a new... Oh! an Ekans with Poison Sting. Now that's interesting. You can poison with this Ekans and use the original Arbok to lock in on turn 2. Not second attack turn. I'm just saying. This is nice. We've just got Bidoof, guys. Just living life. Pachirisu. Again, same normal Pachirisu from this set. Alternate art. And then an alternate art Rio. So yeah, pretty nice overall, I would say. Pretty nice overall. What do you guys think of the set?